I've been off for over a month, and normally it's usually because of one of us has gone on a holiday or something, which is always nice and fun. Wish that was the case this time. Back in September, I actually had a left of field medical issue prepare itself, which was basically a cancer diagnosis. So I had to obviously take some time off to deal with that. I'm actually going to make a separate video on this for the channel, just to sort of explain exactly what the whole experience was and what it is. And the reason I'm doing that is not because I, have some existential angst to get off my chest or anything. But the thing that I found was that my particular one, there's literally no information that I found on it. So I think it might be a good idea for me to put this all down and have an easy snapshot of explaining what this is, just in case anyone out there gets it and they can use it as a resource. And as it was explained to me, this can actually happen to anyone, anytime. There's nothing about genetic factors, lifestyle factors, nothing like that. It was explained to me that it was akin to winning the lotto. And that anyone can get it regardless of how healthy you are or whatever. So in summary, I noticed a lump on my left middle finger appear back in May. I thought it was like I knocked it and it swollen up or something, but then it wasn't going away. I then thought it might have been a cyst. But then, long story short, after it got tested, it turned out to be a sarcoma. And it was quite surprising to me. This opened up a whole new field of study, even though it was quite a bit to go through. But sarcomas are only a 2% diagnosis of all types of cancer that gets diagnosed out there. They're very rare, but where I was lucky and where it was akin to winning the lotto was that I actually got it on my middle finger. Getting it in the finger is even rare for a sarcoma diagnosis. Now, that ended up resulting in me having to have surgery to have my finger removed, and that's where I'm at now. So I've got that as a result. So obviously I've had to get some recovery time built in. I'm obviously still processing it and whatnot. I'm actually feeling quite positive because even though it's never good to get a cancer diagnosis, and I did lose my finger because of it, essentially the only real way to deal with it was to basically have it cut out, which is what was done. The pathology that was done on the finger came back all good. It was 100% like well clear of all margins, so that effectively means that it didn't spread to a point where it would have spread into the rest of my hand, which then would have caused other issues, obviously. So in theory, I'm obviously going to be tested for the next 5 years, quarterly, to make sure that I haven't got anything else popping up anywhere else. But essentially, this should hopefully be the end of it, at least for this particular one, because they've effectively told me that they've excised it. So yeah, it was quite a shock. Yeah, just had to take some time off to do that. And I learned a lot about this particular type of cancer, which, other people tend to get it in their limbs, and that can be more problematic because it can return. Back in the good old days, if you want to call it, they actually amputated limbs for it because that was the only option. They do a lot of limb-saving surgery now to save that sort of thing, but it does require consistent checking in, and because as it was explained to me, the sarcomas are really aggressive, so they do it's really hard to get them out. So any opportunity that where, like in my case, removing the finger, removed it completely, that's the option that they tend to take. And although I haven't got full function in my hand yet, it's more because of the effects of the surgery. Obviously, it has a bit of an impact when you have like a deep cut like that. So just over the next few months or whatever, I'm sure it'll all get better and whatnot. So that kind of explains where we're at. Like I said, I'm putting together a video for that. I think that'll work out well. And I think that'll at least provide like a snapshot overview of this particular type of thing if anyone else experiences it. So
yeah, wow. That's quite a story, Ben. So, but great to have you, with us, and certainly you seem to be doing very well. So that's fantastic.